Hello and welcome back. I am EonShiKeno, your caster for this best of 3 series between IM's MVP. He's going to be our blue Terran player on the right side of his Shattered Temple. And his opponent, the winner of last game, will be Liquid's Haypro, our red Zerg player, the top side of the map. So they're going to close by air spawning positions, or as the Overlord flies, close positions. Now, as you may or may not know, if you're a newbie, they do not have close by ground spawning positions. So both players know that their opponent will not be spawning like this spot compared to MVP. And if you're Haypro, you know there will not be a spawning position over here. So you just have to worry about the close, the 2 longer distance positions. And he's going to scout it out. Yes, he is. And even MVP sends out 1 SCV. He knew that timing very well. Scouted out. Haypro tried to turn back, but it was too late. He was scouted. So now he's just going to come down here to the front to look to see if there's a barracks. Last game was pretty intense. Haypro held those harasses off like a boss and macroed like it was his job, which it kind of is. And had an insane late game army. Had like 3-3 on his Zerglings, Broodlings, everything. Had a nice Muta harass. He just kept control of the map with the Muta and the Zerglings. Tried to limit MVP's base spread as much as possible and just controlled the Marine harass. Eventually got up a lot of Infestors and Broodlords, went for a really big push. And if you pay attention to those fancy graphics I put at all the end of the games, like during the highlights and stuff, you will notice that MVP lost more units than Haypro. Now you're probably thinking, oh, that's ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. But obviously they don't count Broodlings as a unit, so that doesn't count. But if you count just like Zerglings and stuff you actually build as units, MVP lost more units than Haypro. So that just goes to show you how well Haypro did that game. If a Zerg player loses fewer units than a Terran player does in a game that's like 33 minutes long, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. And Bunker Rush here for MVP. And what does Haypro have? Does he have a spawning pool? Nope, it's up late. He even went gas also, so that delayed it a little bit more. So Bunker gonna go down. He's in a really nice position back here next to these minerals. He's gonna get a little bit of position here. Yeah, he's gonna be able to poke with that SCV. 1 Marine showing up. Gonna try and help out this SCV a little bit, but no, SCV gets taken out. And this Marine now doesn't have anything to do except run. Hopefully he's got his new sneakers on. He needs to get back to home. And looks like he's gonna get out of there. Yep. Gonna get out of there. Cancel that bunker, sure. Haypro's happy with that defense. Nice position here with the Overlord overlooking this high ground up here. It's nice. You can just hang out right here, and they have no clue unless they lift up a building or something like that that gives them high ground vision. But Haypro, yep, in a really nice position there right on that edge. So he's going to see this command center being placed right in front of him. Look at this beautiful vision. Hello. Thanks for showing me you've got a command center. I love that. And now he's going to back up. MVP's like, oh, whoops. There's an Overlord there. I probably shouldn't have put my command center that close to the edge to show him that. So, oh well. SCV going to go scout a little bit up in his base. Maybe. Yep, there he goes. Zerglings being sent out over here. Wow. Haypro just scouting all over the place. Wants to make sure there's no hidden base over here. So, wow. Cool. I like that. You can't scout too much. I think that's what I'm trying to say. You can't over scout. So MVP, similar opening here. Actually, this time he's only going to go with 2 Hellions and then quickly transition into a tank and some Marines. Now this map, I kind of fear for Zerg just a little bit, because if Terran goes for a really strong Marine tank push and they get like fortified in this position with bunkers and siege tanks, you can put tanks all along this area here, and as a Zerg player, it's like a nightmare. It's a nightmare just to deal with that. You kind of need Muta, and I don't know. It's a tough situation to be put in if they decide to do that. So MVP getting some map control. Spine Crawler up there, going to dismay those Hellions. Don't want to push into his base. Another gas going down for MVP. What do we got here? Another tank coming out. Barracks going up. Already has that 1 reactor here on those Marines, so it's kind of looking like MVP is going to go for a Marine tank push here. And if he brings along some SCVs for bunkers, that could be pretty deadly. We will see. MVP not even going to try and push in here. Just maybe pick off a creep tumor. Is he going to get it? Doesn't look like it. Yep, it does finish. That queen is so proud of her little creep tumor. You're just the best little creep tumor ever. That was horrible. I apologize. MVP now pushing out here. Going to take his expansion. Has some scouting supply depots. Loving it. Zerglings. Just a couple. Maybe going to get another surround on these Hellions for a second game in a row. Oh no. Slippery as butter. Those Hellions do sneak out of there. But he's probably going to get one. There we go. Gets it. And Marines show up in the nick of time to save that second one. And that guy was a roasted little Zergling. Even bringing out an SCV to repair that Hellion just a little bit. And another tech lab here. More tanks coming out. No more production yet for MVP being produced. He's just kind of making a bunch of SCVs. Siege tanks are done. Nice position with the siege tank here at the top. Haypro now looking to take the gold. Going to start working on these destructible rocks. Hellion going in for some more poking. And that, oh! You know what loves to poke? Spine crawlers. Poke right back at you. They're like, don't ever friend a spine crawler on Facebook because it'll be non-stop poking. It's just the worst thing ever. Unfriend those bastards. Block them right away. They're just awful. And here we have the push, the Marine tank push from MVP going out across the map. Zerglings need to watch out. Oh, yeah, they need to run away. He lost a lot of Zerglings right there, probably like 10 or so. That's not going to be very good for Haypro if MVP gets in the sweet spot I was talking about. Here he comes. Uh-oh, he's going for it. Is he bringing some SCVs? Yes, 3 SCVs along the way. Also, nice siege tank spread, and look at this position over here. That position is the devil. And Scan going down, taking out the creep tumors. And MVP is going to slow push up here. Wait, where's he going now? Repositioning that tank to get as close as possible. Moving these other 2 tanks forward just a little bit. He's going to have to wait for the creep to recede before he can put any forward bunkers, but he's putting bunkers in the back. Tanks pushing up now, and Haypro is in a decision like, okay, what am I going to do? His options right now seem to be limited to Zerglings and Banelings. Banelings are finished. Baneling speed is done. He's going to go for it. Zerglings pushing out now. Banelings really need to connect with those Marines. Banelings, wow, from behind, and oh, wow. Cleaning it up. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Everything's dead, and Haypro seem to be ready for that. This one tank is like, wait, you forgot about me. Come back for me, guys. 24 more Zerglings, 21 Banelings. Haypro seems like he's in a bust mode. He's going to want to bust here. MVP, if he holds off this bust without losing too many units, he could be in a pretty good position here. But I don't really know what he's going to be able to do. He's got no wall to speak of. His SCVs are kind of out in the open here. He's got Marines on the high ground. Is he getting Stim? Yeah, Stim is going to be finished by the time this attack comes. But is this tank getting like free shots? No, he does not have vision, unfortunately. And here comes Haypro. Haypro is on the way, spreading out his units preemptively before he pushes in there. Maybe he's just playing defensively. I don't know. Spreading him out. Nope, here he goes. Now he's going to go in. Here comes a big attack. 1 tank and a bunker versus so many forces. The Zerg swarm is just rolling in here and takes the bunker. And actually he's going to leave the tank. Leaves the tank, and Banelings get taken out by all the siege tanks. A couple Marines left, and Zerglings are... Oh my god, that's what I was afraid of right there. That's that going very badly for Haypro. He didn't even get a single tank in that attack, I think. Maybe one. He didn't even kill the main tank here. That got 17 kills. And there's this tank over here on the left, finally getting picked off. Haypro feeling that, you know what, that went pretty badly for me. I should probably start macroing again. Throws up a Spire. So that right there just put Haypro very far behind. Look at the supply, 57 versus 87. Oof. The problem with that attack was Haypro got a little overeager with the push up into the main. If he would have, killed the tank straight up and then just went to the back and murdered these SCVs and denied this expansion, I think that would have been a much more solid attack. Not as greedy, and just go for what you can get. But that attack went really, really badly for Haypro. So he's playing from behind right now. Not what he would be hoping for. So MVP kind of got a stay of his execution with that attack. He feels like he wants to go do some executing of his own. Going to drop some Marines here into the main. He's going to scout that layer. He's going to scout at that macro hatch in the main. Let's see what kind of damage he can do with these Marines. Pushing up, going to snipe the Queen. That Queen is running for her life. And he gets the Queen. Nice job. And then quickly picks up one. Loses 1 Marine. So Marine for a Queen will be a good trade in my book any day of the week. He scouts out the Spire. If he could kill that Spire right now, that would be awesome. dropping on the high ground, and he's going to get a couple Zerglings coming in from the right, and there's not much area to attack with all these Zerglings, so the Marines are going to get some nice damage. We're dropping once again here on the low ground. Nope, going to keep on moving on. Queen shooing that medevac out of there. This gold base is left completely undefended. Queen hauling ass over there. You can't really say that for a queen because she's just so slow. Another push here from MVP, just a little drop. Heading out across map, he's got the +1 finish. Haypro's getting some nice upgrades. Zerglings pushing forward. Muta are out here, and this drop is doomed to die. Cleaning that up pretty easily, and the medevac does fall. MVP seems to be getting ready for another. Actually, no, he's sieging up again. He's like, I don't want to push just yet. 3 mules being called down. He's got 4 gas up here and going. This seems to be the position he wants to put all supply depots in. You know, these guys can hang out on the right side of the map. Armory going up. That'll allow him to start those 2-2 upgrades for his bio. Definitely going to need that. Medevac's being produced. Throwing up some missile turrets. Going to need to have some missile turret protection to deal with these mutas. Haypro has shown a proclivity to go with a lot of mutas versus Terran. It worked pretty well for him last game, and this drop is going to get cleaned up. There it goes. The muta are the janitors of the Zerg army. They just love to clean stuff up. And here comes MVP's big attack. He's pushing forward just 2 scout marines, and these muta need to watch out, scan forward. Looks like we're going to have tanks sieging up. Nice siege tank aligned there. Where's he head to? Over here on the left. Those Marines getting a little close there and doing a lot of damage to those muta. And here comes the big attack from Haypro. He needs to clean this up convincingly. There's not much AA over here on the right. He's going to go straight for the tanks and quickly going to back up. So sacrificing a couple banelings, but did get 2 tanks there. But there's so many Marines pushing up here. He needs to have some more banelings, a little low on the life, but more reinforcements showing up, more Marines. Oh my god, the muta are just melting to the Marines. What is, just GGing right there. That's it. That puts MVP tied with Haypro 1-1. And Haypro, I'm thinking about this game. The big mistake was the baneling. I think he thought he had a bigger lead than he did, and he just did not execute that baneling bust very well. I mean, you would think like, oh, here comes a ton of banelings, and he's got like 2 tanks in a bunker, and how could that not work very well? But that was like the worst. That's like the worst outcome you could hope for with a baneling bust. There wasn't even really much to bust. All he had to kind of do was just kill the workers, and he would have had such a nice lead. But that went really bad for him there. And then after that, MVP just made a bunch of Marines, macroed really well, played kind of straight up, and just pushed straight in. Haypro didn't get a kill too much with those Marines. Didn't get a hit too many Marines with his banelings there in that last attack, which could have went a little bit better too. But the first kind of attack where the first push MVP did with his 3 tanks and his Marines, like Haypro had banelings from behind, he had stuff in the front, he was just ready for it. He just clomped down on MVP's army and just crushed that first attack. That was awesome. He had played that so well. But after that, it kind of was like, ooh, kind of bad. So that'll tie us up here at 1-1. We'll move on into game number 2. Quick, gonna plug my Twitter. Twitter.com/EonShiKeno, and my YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel to get more videos and strategy videos, all that good stuff. So we'll head on into game number 3 coming up next.